the format change?
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Last 2 days, there are our workshops on the second floor, and we today we will talk about Neon EVM economics. If you don't know, Neon EVM is the Ethereum virtual machine for Solana. It can execute Ethereum-like transaction on the Solana and stores data on the Solana state. Today with me, Brian. He will tell you about how to configure the proxy for the Neon EVM. Brian?
Hi, everybody. This is kind of fun, actually, because we were supposed to be upstairs doing a technical workshop, and now here we are in front of all of you. Instead of changing the presentation, this is still a technical workshop. It's just a really big one. And a part of a technical workshop is a lot of question and answer. And in this case, it's your job to ask the questions and our job to answer. So if you would, please feel very comfortable, raise your hand, try to get my attention, and feel free to ask questions at any point along the way. So let's see if we have better luck. Jordan, that works great for me. Who am I? We are here to support Neon EVM. We are a Triton One is an RPC services provider. Myself personally, I'm one of the original validators on Solana, back from the dry run days before testnet and before mainnet. I also run validators.app, which is a website about validators. And then one third partner in Triton One, we're an RPC services and infrastructure provider. The bottom bullet here, you can find me on Telegram and on Twitter at Brian Long. And if you do follow me on Telegram, find me afterwards and we'll do an Aussie. It's not a selfie because there's more than one person. It's an Aussie. So come find me and we'll do that. The technical workshop is really what does it take to become a Neon node operator? And so for anybody who's interested in participating in Neon, earning fees for processing Ethereum transactions. And so there's this concept that you'll have a Neon node, and then you also need an RPC server. And the two of those together kind of form what is required to run a Neon proxy in completion. One thing that you'll want to be aware of if you're thinking about this is the RPC component of this. Don't use a public server. Don't use a shared server. You want something that you have control over. And I kind of in parentheses on the end, I said to avoid rug pulls. You need to think like an attacker, right? That when you're processing an Ethereum transaction on Solana, it gets cut up into several little pieces, and the fees are paid along the way. But at the end is kind of the final big payment, right? So what could happen is if an attacker wanted to pull your rug, what they would do is they would interfere with your RPC server. They would make it kind of impossible for you to complete the task. And then one of the other competing node operators could then swoop in, finish the task for you, and steal your fees. So that's just super important, right? We want to make sure that you've got a secure environment, make sure that you've got control over your RPC node. It's not available to the public. You certainly could run with a third-party provider. You just want to know that they've secured your node for you and that it's not just an open shared node. So, any questions? No? Okay. All right. We'll keep going. The requirements, pretty basic. The Neon EVM proxy itself just requires 4 cores, 16 gig of memory. That's not a lot, right? By today's standards, that's pretty manageable. The RPC node, on the other hand, there's a significant requirement. And on the Solana website, if you've seen the recommendations for running a validator or for running an RPC node, it'll say 128 gig. That's too small. You need more. 256 gig is what I recommend here. If anybody's been watching testnet recently, testnet is designed to be attacked, by the way. So don't, it's intended to be attacked. And one of the recent attacks, the attacker went after the low RAM nodes. So basically, they were trying to take down any validator with 64 gig of RAM, and they succeeded. So again, thinking defensively, thinking about how to be robust and resistant against an attack. Don't come in thinking that you're going to do a low spec node, that your server needs to be probably up at least 256 gig. I've got it down here. 16 cores minimum. AMD EPYC has been performing the best for us. And in particular, moving on to Gen 3, the new stuff that's just hitting the market right now. Big performance improvements. You can get by with AMD Gen 2 without too much of an issue. But if you have access to Gen 3, go for it. And some of the technical things to think about is you want to be able to isolate processes on certain cores. And the Solana proof of history runs a process. If you're not familiar with proof of history, it's the magic that makes Solana what it is. It's the magic that makes Solana fast. And it's how the validators are able to keep everything in sync between the nodes, how we know that one transaction actually arrived before another transaction. And that particular process requires its own core. So you'll need to know that you've got the Linux admin skills to be able to isolate cores to certain processes and move things around on the CPU. The other things to know about is you'll be managing things with tempfs, which is basically holding it in memory. You're going to use NVMe drives. You are going to replace them every 6 months. Solana eats NVMEs for breakfast. And so I'd suggest having some sort of alerts or notifications that will let you know if you're about to burn out an NVMe, the health check. So my goal with this slide was just to kind of set expectations, right? Don't think that you're going to do this on the cheap. Don't try to do it with an at-home PC, an old gaming PC in your basement or something like that. This is going to take a data center style commitment. So. Oh, great. Awesome. Thank you.
Can I get a hot mic? Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Hey, thanks a lot for explaining anything. I'm taking the time to maybe ask the question, like, why is the Solana RPC node so high in requirement? If you can get like a small hint or like explanation, that will help for further research.
Yeah, great. So a Solana RPC node is a validator. And it has the query layer to service queries that'll be coming in from the Neon proxy. And the validator requirements are very high because you're keeping the entire account state in RAM. And you're processing so many thousands of transactions per second, right? So it really is just the requirements of being a validator are really that high. And then you add on top of that the query component. So does that help? Does that answer? Okay, all right. Awesome, thank you. Let's see, prerequisites, deployer host. I'm going to skip some of this stuff. It might be a little bit too technical for the crowd. What we can do is we can come upstairs if anybody wants to kind of dig deep into this. It does require Ansible. If you're familiar with Ansible, at least the scripts that we've offered. So we have put a couple of scripts out on GitHub that people can use to run Ansible and to be able to spin up a Neon node. Skip through that. I believe I've talked about this already, that we're going to, I recommend dedicated nodes for sure, either your own or working with a third-party provider. You want to know that they're locked down. We've got, these are the URLs right here for the two GitHub repositories that we put out. So on GitHub, if you just search RPC pool, you'll see the listing. And there's two different scripts. please know that these are not just copy and paste. These are here to kind of show you how it's done. Every system is different. Every environment is different. You will have you will definitely need to customize these things. So let's see. Skip. We're going to do these upstairs if you guys want to. Skip. Deploy. That's the fun part. And then there's some funding things that happen afterwards. Again, super technical. I'm going to skip a little bit of this for now. As far as cost goes, so okay, let's talk about money, right? Through the Solana server program that the Solana Foundation has, and I should even describe that to people in case you're not familiar with it. The Solana Foundation had incredible foresight to reserve thousands of servers located around the world with major data center providers. And they put real money on the table. They guaranteed payment for thousands of servers, whether or not the ecosystem uses them. It's an amazing program. And so if you're a member of the Solana ecosystem, and if you need a server for Solana, don't use it for Ethereum or anything else, that you can get it from this program. It costs roughly $900 per month, give or take. And that's for the bare metal rental, the bandwidth, and co-location and all of that. So depending on whether you do it yourself or if you use a third-party provider like us, you should expect a monthly cost of maybe $1,000 to $2,000 per month to run a Neon node. And then ideally and obviously, you're expecting this to be a profitable venture, and that you're going to make more in EVM fees. So, that's it for the slide part again. And this is a Q&A workshop kind of session. Any other questions? And it can be about anything, to be honest. Running nodes, running validators, running Neon. Go ahead and quiz us, please.
If anyone has questions, I can run over with the mic. So, shy crowd on a Wednesday.
Yeah, okay.
Last day of the conference.
Yeah, hangovers. Yeah. Do you have anything to add?
Yes.
You're going to finish it up? Great.
Yes,
Here we go.
I want. Can you switch to next presentation? Okay. Let's wait some time. Okay. Several words about money matters. I will skip this. Back. Okay. We understand that operators should get profit. So the Neon EVM. So the Neon EVM operator executes the transaction from user on the Solana cluster, and Neon EVM user pays to Neon EVM operator, and the payment will covers all payments of Neon EVM operator. Let's see how many money requires for transactions. Neon transaction requires to pay to check the signature of Solana, of the Solana signature from Neon operator, the Ethereum signature from user, and there should be the fee to Neon EVM governance. The total price you can see it's 15,000 Lamberts for one transaction. Also, we need to create some accounts on the Solana storage. You can read Solana documentation about rent economics. This is the link to it. We use the first method. We pay rent for 2 years, and such accounts will not be removed from the Solana storage. And on the documentation, you can read how to calculate the total price of 1 byte in Solana storage. Okay, let's next. The Ethereum-like account in Solana storage requires two accounts. The first account with Ethereum-like information. It has transaction counter. It has link to SPL token account with balance. And in SPL token account, there is balance to pay for transactions. So the total size of Ethereum-like account is about, you can see the rent cost, you can see. So if sole price is $240, the total price of one Ethereum-like account is about $1. Next. For example, if an application wants to deploy its EVM bytecode contract to the Solana cluster, we need to create several accounts. First account with Ethereum-like information, with transaction counter, and the SPL token account with balance. We should deploy the contract to the Solana storage and create the storage for information of the contract. One record in our storage requires about 90 bytes. So if we deploy an contract with size about 10 kilobytes, it requires about $24.50 at the current price. The next, if an user transfer simple tokens, the cost will be less than 1 cent. If this transfer will create an account, the price will be $1.30. The next. Currently, the average neon transaction requires about 7 iterations. It's Solana transactions within the neon transaction is executed. The price of this transaction is about 2.5 cents. If this transaction requires to create a new value in the Solana storage, the price will be about 17 cents. Okay, so about operator. Operator can set up the fee for user transaction, and this fee will covers all his fees. In Neon Web3 proxy, you have workers which can execute one transaction in time, and each worker requires to create two accounts, each of size 1 to 8 kilobytes. So this is price of these accounts, but this is souls can be returned back to the operator when he wants to shut down his proxy. So it's only reserved price. Okay, for example, if you configure your Neon Web3 proxy with 2 workers and you want to execute 60 PS, it's a half of Ethereum throughput, and you will set the fee to 10%. You will pay for user transaction about 44 souls, and you will receive about 4 souls as revenue. There is the link to the small document with calculation which you can use to calculate how many money you require to execute transactions.
Hey guys, this is the first time I'm doing this. I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna have to cut you off. But these guys are just going right upstairs. They have a booth upstairs, the Neon Labs booth, and you can go and ask them a whole bunch of questions about the EVM and everything else.
Okay.
Awesome.
Sounds awesome.
Thank you so much. We have somebody that needs to catch a flight because last day of conference.
Yep, thank you.
Round of applause.
Thank you.